Well, just leaving a place called Gildton. Saw a couple of things you won't see very often at all. One of them is a view like that, and the other one is a nice German, that guy who's just scratched his nose. Nice guy from Hamburg. So I guess he's a hamburger by definition. Anyway, there you go. It's just another little example of the scummy conditions that exist around Norway. It's extraordinary, just absolutely extraordinary. I'll just try to do a turn here without running off into the sea or falling off in front of the admiring throng, which is an English term for crowd. And this is about where it'll happen, I think. I don't know. Alright, well, 372 kilometres from Gildton here to Nordkapp. I'm going to get there today no matter what happens, hopefully. No diversions, no nothing. Reasonable lunch stop, I guess, but I'm just going to get there. I'm sick of being almost there. Just leave the camera on for a minute. Just have a look at this view. Temporarily right on the wrong side of the road. And that's it. Gildton. Beautiful. I guess it could be said too that one of the biggest hazards over which you have very little control other than slowing down to a walking pace. One of the biggest hazards is, I suppose you'd say, wildlife on the side of the road. It's not like kangaroos or that like home in Australia. What tends to happen is, especially in the rocky parts of the country, the sheep and other domestic sort of animals, and some not so domestic, reindeers come to mind, they'll come down and they'll just graze on the side of the road in the dip there, where it's greener. And it's just unbelievable. Like, if you can get just come around a corner like this one, no problem. You can have 20 or 30 sheep just grazing away, nicely, sitting there in the sun out of the cold wind, and generally they don't tend to run out in front of you like Australian sheep do, but you can't rely on that, because there might be an Australian sheep here on holidays that just does it. But it just seems like, that's the thing to do. And the other night I was talking to a bloke at the reception of some place, and I mentioned to him that it was freezing cold, and I was wondering if the water on the road was going to be icy. It turns out it wasn't, because it was still quite splashy. But anyway, I was going around this is a right hander, going around a left hand corner, and a bloke came the other way in a BMW car, just absolutely flying, and I thought if he loses this thing, he's going to crash into me. So I told the receptionist guy, and the receptionist guy looks at me with this Norwegian smirk on his face and says, pretty much quote, "Ah, you people, you come up here, you do not know how to drive on the ice." To which I said, "Well, how do you blokes drive on ice where other people can't?" He said, "You learn how to drive on the ice." Well, I pointed out to him fairly promptly, and probably a fraction sharpish, that last time I checked, the tyres that they're using, the Dunlops, Michelins and the like, which are actually made in France, in Germany and Spain, and they're made of exactly the same stuff as what we drive on in Australia. So I don't know much of how much of a smart ass he thinks he was that he knew how to drive on ice, but I did point out that his tyres are still only made of rubber, and the road is still only made of asphalt, and in some cases ice. And if they think that they're better at driving on ice than anyone else, well, I pointed out to him that I was there to tell him that they probably weren't. They were taking a risk with someone else's life, namely mine. So anyway, that was me rant, and it wiped the sort of Norwegian smirk off his face a bit. He probably thought, oh, an Australian, I won't say a rude word because Mum might hear this, Australian pain in the bottom. So, and he might have been right, but so was I. Anyway, Norway it is, and we've got 360 to go to Nordkap, and the forecast for tonight, that German hamburger guy saying tonight's going to be rain. Well, okay, but I've looked on the forecast, and after that it's forecast to be 5 days of pretty much sun with a little bit of cloud, but hopefully no rain. So we'll see. Right now it's absolutely lovely. It's about 6-7 degrees, but the sun's warm, the wind's cool, but the sun is very warm, and it's like a very, very late autumn day in Australia, or a surprisingly good winter day in Australia. Very nice. I like it. Another one of those times you're glad you're on the GS. Probably wouldn't want to be putting the Guzzy through this. Well, I'm sure it would do it, but you'd have to just slow down a bit and probably worry a little more, I guess. Since what this thing does is it takes a lot of the unknown quantity out of a lot of things. It's just like I've said a few times, if you think of going to the Nordkap on the Guzzy as driving a Jaguar, latest Jag, well, this is like driving the latest Range Rover. Probably not as fancy, but just a damn sight better, I guess. Anyway, looks like that's it. $254k to go. Nice bridge into a tunnel. I guess it's all fairly standard, but it's still pretty impressive. Well, it's been my experience in the short time I've been riding bikes, or for that matter going anywhere, that there's some destinations, when you go to them, you seem like you're forever nearly there. Well, having said that, we're nearly there. 100k to go, 105. But this is, again, pretty darn dramatic. Like a lot of the roads in Europe, they're fantastic from the point of view of the view and all that, but geez, you know, you sort of get one thing, just one thing wrong, like right here, you know what I mean? You know, you sort of, you look out to the ocean, you look back, if you hit that barrier, you can see how high it is. It's 2/3 of a metre, and it's all over. An unsurvivable, I reckon, an unsurvivable dive over that. And if you don't kill yourself on the rocks, you knock yourself out, then you drown in the near freezing water. So all in all, it's probably, you'd be about cactus. But having said that, it's just again beautiful, and yeah, I'll turn the camera back on when we start to get to things that are worth saving for later. All right. About, and I don't know if it's the same one, but Deukler told me about a couple that were driving a tractor to the Nordkap. Now that's definitely a tractor, and he's definitely pointed towards the Nordkap. So if that's the same one, I'm amazed. Although, having said that, the tyres look really, really new, so I don't know just how much he's done. But I won't die wondering. I'll find out. But anyway, there's a tractor on its way to the Nordkap. Just when you think you're doing something special, you see that, and you realise you're really not. Well, Now I just had occasion to meet an old man, 79 or 80 years old. He's 79 is the word, German guy. Deugler mentioned him in passing about a week and a half ago. He's driving a tractor from Germany somewhere, I don't know where, south of Germany somewhere, to the Nordkap. Now so far he's done 6,000 kilometres, so I think he's been up and he's on his way back. I've got a couple of photos of it and some GoPro stuff. 18 kilometres an hour he drives at, 18. And he's been going God knows how long. He's towing a little caravan behind himself, and just a charming old man. He can't speak any English, but he had somebody there who was fortunately there to translate. And he's just the epitome, if you can use that word, which is the correct one. He's just the absolute example of someone who just does something crazy that doesn't see it as crazy. He just does it because he just does it. And I've been thinking for a little while of riding a CT110. I know that my hands on one. The CT110 from Cairns to Cape York. And I'm reliably informed that it's a pretty stupid thing to do, which it probably is. But I thought, well, instead of riding from Cairns to Cape York, why not just ride from Creswick to Cape York? And that would be even crazier, and therefore by definition more worthwhile. So I'm pondering that, and I'll ring Anne tonight, see if she'll loan me a CT110 next year to do a quiet 8,000 k, because I reckon that would be pretty darn good. So I'm going to ponder that for a little while. I've got two things to do: think about that and not ride over this barrier onto those rocks and into the frozen water. So more on that later. Well, this is Nordkap. Last I heard, you bought a pass that lasted for 3 days, and so here it is. It's 20 past 5 in the afternoon. I've come up here, paid me money to get in, which is great, and I thought, oh well, you know, I'll go back and I'll camp and that'll be that, and I'll come up tomorrow and next day. Turns out that it lasts for 24 hours. So if I want to come back the day after tomorrow, I'm going to have to pay again. So we'll just have a think about that, I think. But anyway, just for now, enough guts aching. I'll park the bike and we'll go and have a look at something and check it out, as they say. Hey?
It's not allowed to drive this far. We just told them.
So are you going to tell me that I can't get a photo of my bike and all those bricks are down there?
You have to park and then you have to ask them in the reception. Yes, that's what I'm telling you. That's the rule. Everyone that goes down there has to have a permission.
Okay, well I'll get permission.
It's no problem.
All right, okay. Okay, well I just had to use every ounce of weasel guttedness that I possess. I thought you could just ride down there like every other man and his dog. And turns out an Indian guy came up and said I couldn't. So I think you might have heard that on the last shot. So I went up and asked the manager, as requested, and he said, have you got a good reason? I said, yeah, my dying mother in Australia is only going to live for another 2 days, and her dying wish was that she see a photo of the bike by the Globe, blah, blah, blah. And I said to the guy, clearly that's a pack of lies. I could disrespect you by telling you a pack of lies, or I could tell you the truth, and the truth is, I just thought I could do it because everybody other man and his dog has. So he said, well, thank you for telling me that. Because you're being reasonable, can you get one shot and then get to hell out? Which is fair enough. Because I said to him, well, yeah, I guess if you let one do it, 100 want to, and it's just like every drunk in a pub. So I'll film the arrival. I'll take a photo with me, with my phone, one with my camera, and then, as the Good Shepherd in the Bible said, I'll get the flock out of here. Sorry, that was the flock. just down the road here about 4 or 5k to the other side of this tunnel plus a little bit, there's an old timer. Now I saw him on the way up to the Nordkap. I'm now on my way back and I've just seen him again. But it sort of occurred to me that I don't think I actually got any sort of, you know, footage of him sort of on the camera. And he's such a crazy guy. He's driven a tractor with a caravan on the back from Hamburg or somewhere. It mightn't even be Hamburg. It's some far-flung corner of Germany. He sort of thought he might drive to the Nordkap. So that'd be fine if you got a nice BMW or a camper van or a car, but he's done it on a tractor, and looks like a reconditioned one at that, a real old thing, and he does 18, that's one with an 8 after it, 18 kilometres an hour, and so goodness knows how long it's going to take him. Now I might have already said all that earlier on in one of my rants, but I'm going to backtrack this a little bit anyway and just get some of it on video, because really if you told people about it they'd go, no that's not true, or they'd find it hard to believe. But anyway, I'll switch off and I'll come back in a couple of minutes and I guess we'll see. Okay, well, we're coming up on this old timer, and it turns out that for once there's not a mob hanging around him. Although one of them looks like he's about to do a U-turn, but I'll just go up and I'll say good day to him for the benefit of the camera, and if you ever watch this, you'll appreciate what it takes to sit on a tractor for that amount of time. Anyway, we'll just pull in here, and I'll just take a little bit of footage of it. Okay, I'll just gently walk around and sort of give you a bit of a look at it. Now, for the benefit of the mechanically minded, the technical description is it's a tractor and it's green. And it's got a silver bit here, that's the silver bit. And it's got wheels and a couple of lights. And old timer Riander Silberborn, whatever. It's a Luftketthul, whatever that is, and there's your basic tractor caravan combination that you use when you're driving from Germany to the Nordkap. Makes you wonder why you bother with BMWs, really. Here you've got a little addition here, that'll be the mud guard. Stop the mud. If you wander around, you'll notice the tyres, not a lot of dirt on them, but they've done a few K. And we'll just go around and say good day to the man. He can't understand English, but then I can't understand German. So I've just come back because I've turned on my camera. Yeah. So I just once more want to say hello, and this is from your name is? I'm Peter, yeah. And you are? Yeah. All right. Yeah, I tried to get his name, but anyway. So, yeah, yeah. Your name is Herman or Klaus or no? Okay. Or
Can you English?
Yeah, some English. I'm sorry. Could you just ask the nice man what his first name is, please? Just for I'm filming this and I'll be showing it in Australia. So.
Martin is coming.
Oh, okay.
Our guide.
All right. Okay. No problem.
This young man.
The young man. Okay. Yeah.
The blue.
In the blue. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thanks very much. Ta. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. How are you? Hello there. You're Martin, are you? Martin? Yeah, hello, I'm Peter. I just wondered, could you just ask the gentleman what his name is, please? Because I'm making some film here.
Yeah.
And I'd just like to be able to tell the people at home what his name is.
Yes, what his name is?
Yes, please. Just his first name, yeah. Thank you.
This is his name, Winfried.
Oh, Winfried. Oh, Winfried.
It's Trekker
Willis.
It's a Trekker.
Oh, so you have the.
You can also film it if you.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. Trekker Willis. All right. Thank you. And can you tell me how far he's travelled?
He's coming from Germany.
Yeah.
And it takes
7,600.
And he started 2nd of May. And 40 day.
Marvellous.
Yeah.
Marvellous. He's just tremendous.
And he's 79 years old.
Yeah. Oh well. All right. I took some photo of him on this already.
Yeah.
It's running now, so that'll be enough for the people at home, I think. All right.
He started Germany, Denmark, Norway, and back through Sweden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Marvellous. And did he refurbish the tractor himself? Did he rebuild the tractor? It looks like it's...
Yeah, it's a very old one.
Yeah.
It was not expensive when he bought it, 2002.
Yeah.
And he fixed it 3 years.
Yeah.
And then it was ready. And he already has been in Mallorca in Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he drove it that far, did he? He didn't ship it there, he drove it all the way.
Mm.
Amazing. All right, well, I'll leave you with your people, and thank you very much, Martin.
Yes,
thanks for your time. Thank you.
Where are you going now?
Oh, I've been to the Nordkap. I'm on a tour of Europe and England and Scotland and Europe on the motorbike, but it really isn't anything as good. You know, that's no, that's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks again, Martin, and I'll leave you with your people. Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome.
So there you go. That's him. One pretty amazing man, and you get the feeling that even if no one turned up, he would still do it. But I'll just move in a little bit just so you can see and hear a little bit.
Ja. Das ist unser Reiseleiter und er hat es gerade vorgelesen. In dem Moment fahren wir um eine Ecke. Da steht er. Ja, wirklich, das stimmt. Ja. Oh, ist das...
No, that's what I want. That's okay. That's going to Australia.
To Australia?
Yeah. Okay. See ya. Yeah. G'day, mate. How are you going?
Hey, Frau.
Well, it's hardly surprising the old bloke only gets 50 k's a day, but just, I don't know, just unbelievable. I don't know whether it's just because you're on holidays and you're all caught up in the, you know, the fabulousness and all thatness of it, but geez, like he's such a lovely, dear, toothless old bloke. Like he just, and I sort of might have said it before, I don't know, but you just get the feeling that even if no one turned up, if nobody turned up, he probably would still do it. He doesn't sort of do it so that people will tell him he's great or anything like that. And when people say, oh, you know, they look at you on the BM, oh, Australia, you think, well, like I often say, look, anyone can go out, anyone can get a licence, well, not anyone, but, you know, just, you know, you go and do the work and you'll get the licence and spend the money and keep it between these two white lines each side of the road, and you'll get there. It's not the words of the song, it's not unusual. It's just it's fantastic, it's good, but it isn't crazy unusual. So that's what's got me thinking about if I can find a CT110 now. Where would I find one of those? If I look hard enough at home, there might be one there. Put the hard word on the owner, and she might let me take it, and I wouldn't mind riding from Creswick to Cape York. Both start with C, they can't be that much different. And just doing the sums, you average 70k an hour for 4,000 k's. Let's see, that's 710 hours, 7,000 in 100 hours. Yeah, so it should be around about 120 hours return, I reckon. 130 hours. So a 40-hour week, that would be 3 weeks up and back on a CT 110. And so anyone who tells me it's crazy is probably right. Anyway, we'll see what sort of support I get. Well, I haven't done any filming for a little while. That there's the polar circle, as you'll see if you go through Finland or where we are now. If anyone ever asks you the difference between Norway and Finland, well, you can refer to this. You might remember if you've seen the rest of this presentation, what the polar circle thing looked like in Norway. Well, this is what you get in Finland. That there's basically your polar circle monument. Looks like something left over from a third world Russian circus. But anyway, that's it really. That's your monument. That right there is what you're looking at. That's it. Would have been nice if they'd finished it, but I guess they'll get round to it one day. But, yeah, she's pretty rough, sure. And anyway, speaking of rough, this I hope used to be a milk bar takeaway venue. I say used to be because you never know, that it might still be operating. Just because it looks like that, it doesn't mean it isn't. But anyway, written up there is cafe, bar, restaurant, rum and stugor, jacked and fisk. So I don't know if jacked and fisk is something they serve or something that happened to it. But anyway, that's Finland. I actually went across the state border before, and I think this part of the world's called Sverige. So I don't know, but anyway, just to stop joking just for a sec, the right now the temperature's, my guess would be 18 degrees, really quite pleasant, and we're on the Arctic Circle. And the other day it was, I thought it had to be 3 degrees, and we're on the Arctic Circle, but I guess the difference was we were on top of the Norwegian Alps at a height of about 7,000 feet. Here, well, probably nothing like that. Anyway, just thought I'd pass that on. Before I go, coming through the last section of trees, which has been most of today, I reckon it's 300 or 400 kilometres actually. If I have a look, it's the top, it's 300 kilometres of tree line road, which is rather pleasant, but the ever-present hazard of deer and antelope bursting out and attempting to commit suicide from it, which they tend to do. So that's always a favourite. But the look of it was a hell of a lot like all the Google Earth stuff I've looked at of the rural highways in Russia. I would reckon, I'm not going to be able to, but I would reckon if you kept riding along this road, took the appropriate turns, you'd come to the Russian border, and I reckon if there were no gates of that, you'd ride straight into Russia and you probably wouldn't notice the difference. I'm sure that's this place you might be. Anyway, yeah, that's Finland. It's really not that great coming down the east coast, but I guess you only know that if you come. The east coast of Norway, sorry, is pretty ordinary. I understand the west coast is extraordinary. Anyway. guess I should have mentioned on my last thing too that just where I actually am, because that's sometimes a pain when you look at somewhere and you're not sure. It's 500k since I started today. Add about 200 onto that from Nordkap, so it's about 700 kilometres from Nordkap on a road more or less directly straight down to Germany, down to a place called Berg in Germany, where I'll stay at some point or other whenever I get there. But I'll need to decide then if I've got time to go across to Poland, across to Poland, the camps, the World War II camps, prisoner of war camps, or whether I have not. So yeah, that's basically where I am. Yeah, on the road almost directly straight down. It parallels the east coast of Norway for a short while, and then drifts off into Finland. Not a bad sort of a place, except for what we just got there. Yeah, the roads are good. There's no traffic. Just past a truck, but there's virtually been no cars at all. And as I might have said earlier, that if it wasn't for the hazard of reindeer and other big creatures like that running out in front of you, it would probably be pretty darn good. Yeah, there's wildlife sort of everywhere apparently. Pretty crazy. Well, again, for those that have been following the story, okay, the bike has been fixed at Helsingborg. This morning I crossed from Helsingborg into Helsingor, which sounds surprisingly similar, but they're quite different. One's in Sweden, one's in Denmark. Right now I'm at the bottom of Denmark, about 200k later. About to cross into Germany on the ferry. It'll be a short ride from there down to Berg, where I might get some washing done if the weather is fine, which it looks like it might be. And then decision time, either turn left and go to Poland or turn right and have a more leisurely wander back across towards Calais and the eventual end of it all. But anyway, that's that. And that's it up till now, but yeah, the getting the bike fixed in Helsingborg from the moment it stopped till the moment I rode away is, yeah, you could write a sort of a fairly short book on that. But anyway, that's it up till now, and we'll get back to you later. Okay, I've just pulled off on the side of the road. There's a something pretty amazing. I passed it, okay, I'll say back. I'm going to let him pass me and get it on film. It's actually a Trabi that's running for a start, and seems to be going along quite nicely, and it looks really, really nice. He's done it up fantastically well. And right behind it is a car with an identical car behind it being towed, but the vehicle being towed is actually been made into a little camper. So, like, you know, you're on the road for like a minute, and there's the first couple of crazy Germans, which actually aren't Germans, they're from Denmark. But anyway, they're in Germany, so they call them German. I'll just ease past, check it out one time, indicate to the driver that he's being filmed. I'll see if I can get a wave off him for Anne. There's the rig. fantastic as the Trabi. And there's another fantastic sort of a car. It's got flames all over it, so it must be a good one. Another Trabi. I think they're a Trabi club. I passed one about a minute before and it was belching smoke like a steam train, so I reckon it must have been an original one. The others have probably got a Mazda engine in them or something similar. Looks like there's been a rally of some sort. Okay, well we find ourselves after a couple of days of not filming in, here we are in Poland. Now, goodness only knows what awaits us, but anyway, it says it's 5 kilometres, 5.3 actually, to Auschwitz. Now I've put city centre in. I don't for a moment think that the camps as such are in the city centre, but you just, a place like this, you sort of, you stop being surprised at being surprised sort of thing. It's sure as hell got that look, parts of it's got that look of what you see on news and old footage and what have you. Although, having said that, a lot of it's reasonably new. Strangely enough, it's a fairly privileged looking place. Like there's some fairly tidy looking vehicles and what have you around the place, so they haven't got the arse out of their pants by any means, but I guess a lot of years have gone by. So anyway, we'll go 5.2k up the road and see what the centre of Auschwitz looks like, and then we'll find a bit of accommodation and find out where the place is and what tours are available. And I won't be staying anywhere where I can't leave the bike locked, but not only locked but locked under cover and away, so that might be the issue, is to find something like that, but it's not negotiable because, although having said that too, Poland is nothing like I thought. This is a bit crummy here, but basically Poland looks pretty darn good. It looks just like another Germany. All the Polish registered vehicles are very, very nice. Benzes, Audis. Probably the crappiest thing you'd see is, I don't know, a Golf or something. So anyway, yeah, Poland, it's not bad. It's a lot cheaper than some of the places I've seen. Anyway, I'll shut this off, and when I come to something worth looking at, I'll turn it on again. Okay, well today's the 30th of June. Yesterday I left, I toured out Auschwitz on the 28th of June, left on the 29th, morning of the 29th, did about 500 or so, okay, and I'm at a place called St. Pollen, which is in Austria. Is it tidy, Bina? Yeah, okay, in Austria, and going from there I'm going directly to Stelvio, all things being equal, which is 578. Plan is to go to Stelvio and, if time permits, onto Como. Como is a known quantity as far as caravan parks and that go. But if everything is how I imagine it's going to be, which it never is, today should be a pretty spectacular day regarding scenery, what have you. And I'll get another chance to ride over the Stelvio Pass, which is always a bonus for the biker. And yeah, we'll see what happens, so take it from there. Bit of a funny thing, I just went past a rest station, like a roadhouse, but as usual it's a servo and a restaurant and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, one of the stores there, you can see it as you go past on the road, it's got erotic market, erotic with a K on the end, but that might be correct over here, so that's fine. But I mean, you're a truck driver who pulls in there for some, 1,000 litres of diesel and 4 hamburgers, and you go into the erotic market and buy something, I don't know, just to read when you stop, and you've got to try to sort of convince them that you only buy it for the articles. Anyway, yeah, I don't know how you go there. I think most people who hear this will know what I mean. This in itself isn't really a great view yet, but last time I was through here, I didn't actually come on this road. Last time I came through this part of the world on this trip, you couldn't see halfway up those hills. It was just rain, mist, you wouldn't ever know they were there. Well, it couldn't be more different. 20, 26, 27 degrees or something. It's snivelly. Season or something. Anyway, 26, 27 degrees. As you can see, virtually no clouds. What there are just perfect. And the place is absolutely infested with paragliders, hang gliders. Didn't see any real ones. I'm sure they're around somewhere. It could not be more different. Anyway, coming into where we are right now is Innsbruck, or close to Innsbruck, which is coming into the Austrian, Swiss, Italian Alps from the north. Probably can't make it out on the camera, but there's mountains more or less stretching in front as far as you can sort of see, and pretty darn high. Virtually no snow whatsoever left up there, the tiniest little bits, which you might get to see later on. But anyway, today going to Como, which is 430 away, 430k away, and we're going via Stelvio, so that'll be another look at the road that goes up and down, and the infamous corner 27, which has caught many a good rider out, and the odd average one as well, dare I say. I'll get back later on. Well, none of what the TomTom is telling me to do would I have done. It says I'm going somewhere near St. Moritz. St. Moritz. Well, last time I checked that was in Melbourne. Anyway, might be a different St. Moritz, might be the real one. Castle on the Hill. Standard. Yeah, alright, well I'll do what it says, and it's always right, but I hope this is no exception. I'm heading south according to the compass on the thing, so yeah, we'll see. No way I'd have gone this way though, no possible way. Well, as is often the case, we've driven into a tunnel in one end, straight off a motorway pretty much, and popped out in what appears to all intents and purposes to be a different universe. It says we've got 75k to go to Stelvio, and nothing to do for the next 52. There's no turns, no anything. There's a roundabout 52 kilometres from here, so that suggests that there's no left, right turns or anything like that. So this may or may not be the road that leads past a place called Stilfossoch, where I stayed last year with Baz, and that particular road just goes straight past pretty much the front of the motel and on up to the top of the mountain, which will be the reverse direction to which we came over last year. So given that this is Germany, and Stilfossoch is a German name, I'm guessing that's probably going to be the case. that'll work out well. I'm going to get there at about 10 to 5 according to this, so that'll be time to stand there and digest it all and film something, take some photos, and I'll probably end up dropping down on the Italian side, somewhere like Torino or something like that. Should be alright. And then Como tomorrow. A nice quiet one tomorrow. Alright, looks like it's worked out. So Tom was right again. $700 well spent, I'm guessing.
I wanna speed, I wanna swerve, I want to lose control. I want the sun behind me, I want rock and roll. I wanna run from fear, then run from it again. I wanna be the one who never saw the end. Meet me when the lights go green. Radioactive machine. Speak to me through card alarms. My love lives on the Autobahn. My love lives on the Autobahn. It's all so clear, alone out here, so far from you. The weather's warm, the air is cool. Away from you, can see for miles, but all I ever see is you. I close my eyes and feel like lead inside of you.
straight. It's in our eyes, it's how we operate. You're true, you are. I'd apologize, but it won't go very far. Please come here, come right on over. When we collide, we'll see what gets left over. A little joy, a little sorrow, and a little pride, so we won't have to borrow. Wherever you lead, I'll follow. Turn me inside out and upside down. Try to see things my way. Turn a new page, tear the old one out. Try to see things your way. Please come here, please come on over. There is no line that you can step right over. Without you, well, I'm left hollow. So can we decide to try a little joy tomorrow? 'Cause baby, tonight I'll follow. You turn me inside out and upside down. Try to see things my way. Turn a new page, tear the old one out. Now try to see things your way. The way that we've been speaking now, I swear that we'd be friends, I swear. 'Cause all these little deals go down with little consequences. We share, we share. Turn me inside out and upside down. Try to see things my way. Turn a new page, tear the old one out. And I'll try to see things your way. And I'm gonna love you anyway. I'll try to see things your way. I'll try to see things your way. I'll try to see things your way. I'll try to see things your way.
Make me see a whole new way. Make me see the new day, the new day, the new day. Make me be, make me be, make me be a whole new way. Oh, maybe in San Juan, maybe I'll be true. Whisper sweet everything to you. Yellow cactus rose, cotton blown by wind, beating brown hands, perfect skin, perfect skin, perfect skin. In San Juan, I don't want to know all the reasons why you gotta go in San Juan. Meet me in San Juan. Well, nobody has and everybody gives. There's no sand where death lives. I see, I see. Maybe I'll be
A couple of guzzies coming down the mountain. I don't know how they got up there. Helicopter probably. Oops. A Harley. Jeez. 27, Baz. Well, if you're going to crash, this is the place to do it, I reckon. There's your Stelvio Pass. Or fail, whichever. We'll see how this bloke goes. Sheer fluke. Absolute fluke. Couldn't do it again, I bet. Anyway, yeah, that's that. I'll take a photo and take an email and soldier on. thought the last view was pretty good. I imagine this is going to be even better. This is right up on the very sort of edge of everything. Let's peek over the edge, have a look. Yeah, pretty much tells you what it's about. That's the view that you've seen in just about every photo that's ever been taken of it. Have a look from somewhere else.
Weil der Ding hochgebogen ist, ja. Der Fuß wurde ohne Ende hochgebogen. Ja, das ist auch ein bisschen. Sehe ich auch noch. Bei Spielen in Kanada, Barfuß. Sehr angekommen. War ja auch nicht beim Arzt. Scheiße. Ich bin begeistert, die wart ja so.
How the hell they built it, I don't know. And it's just as impressive on the other side. A little more open on the other side, actually. This is more sort of condensed from memory and also from what I've read, but I think the drop is actually greater on the other side. Not sure. I guess we'll find out tomorrow. Snow's still laying around, although it's really quite warm. Okay, because the camera's on the left, on occasions it'll give a better view of the scenery, so I'll shoot a little bit, and I hope it ends up being worthwhile. There's a bike like mine over there. Yeah, the only issue is, of course, you're on the right hand side of the road. If you're on the left, that'd look like that, but you'd have a head-on collision, so that's not the place to do that. But, massive amount of BMWs. It's, haven't said that none of those were, but yeah, BMWs seem to be just common as you know what. Yeah. I think this is the corner where I had the photo of me Guzzy, but yeah, I don't know, maybe not. I'm inclined to sort of use more care going down the hill than going up, because yeah, if your brakes failed, you really are in a world of trouble, an absolute world of trouble. I really think if you hit that barrier at the speed that you would hit it with brakes that weren't working, the bike would certainly go over, but you'd go over too, and it'd catapult you to an, again, said it too many times, but an unsurvivable fall. So you just got to, I think, especially when the barrier's as small as it is there, I think you just got to ease off a bit and not try to be a racer, and just enjoy the view, because there just isn't any other place, road like it. So as far as this sort of road goes, I've heard that Transfer Garrison is pretty good too, but I don't know how good you've got to be better than this. So, awesome. I think this is the guy I was talking to up the top of the hill. Okay, Baz, here we go, corner 27. There's a truck going to meet us pretty much right on it. So it looks like there's always somebody there to sharpen up corner 27 that little bit. You wouldn't believe it, would you? Look, corner 27, there's a truck. He was waiting for me, that's decent of him. Just want to get a decent look at the corner. 27, round we go, fluked it. Okay, well that's pretty much goodbye, as it were, to the Stelvio Pass, heading out now north the morning after through what could be best described as Italian fantasticness. Yeah, can't be beaten. It just cannot be beaten. Anyway, heading north out through there, up towards Zutphen, which is in the Netherlands. I'm sure the Netherlands and Germany and all that sort of stuff is going to just seem like garbage compared to this, which it demonstrably is. But I guess we can't all live in Stelvio, can we? Unfortunately, it's one of those places that you just think, I can't imagine, with a couple of little exceptions here and there, can't imagine why you'd ever want to leave it. But I suppose I've said that about 30 places, 40 places on this trip. So, I still maintained Como in Italy has got a little bit of everything that's good and nothing of anything that's bad. But anyway, it's goodbye to the mountains of around this area. A little bit of snow left on the top, and here it is, 28, 26 degrees or something down here, and looking up at Snow Top Mountain, stuff you just hear about. Just let that sort of thing happen. Someone blasts by you, I don't really care. For now. Those with sharp eyes will recognise this is the way I actually came in. Didn't know that. Anyway, here's well, that what you're looking at there is a church. There is a complete church under it. It doesn't probably look like it on the camera, but from the edge of the water out there's 50 metres. Yeah, it'd be flat out to be 50 metres. Anyway, let's call it 50 metres. So there's a complete church hiding under there, so that bank must be pretty darn steep. Now the guts of it is the church was built and ran for quite a while, and then they decided that they'd flood the valley, and except for the fact that they wrecked the church, the jury's out on how important that is as far as I'm concerned, but anyway, there you go. They've created what is absolutely just the most beautiful sort of scene. I don't know what the colour of the water is, the difference, I don't know if you can see it, but out about 150 metres it's a really lime green and then it drops away to a blue. Now it can't be the depth because it's already pretty deep where the church is. So I don't know, but there you go. That's the underwater church. Gurgle, gurgle. That's it. Yeah, well it turns out after reading the information that on the little booth there, that whole valley was used to be farmland and little township and all that sort of stuff. It usually settles in valleys like that. And in 29 or 39 or something, nah, it must have been 29, a fair while before the war, somebody, whoever they are, they decided that they just flood the place and turn it into a reservoir, which they clearly did. But the bit that's most crummy is that the village had been documented history, had a documented history of 1,000 years in there, and everybody just basically got the arse. They just got told to nick off in whatever way you do that in Italian, and they weren't given any sort of compensation, nothing. It was just go, and that was it. Where they went, I don't know, but there's some statistics there of how many people were displaced. I think it was 700 or 700, or I think might have been more, were displaced, yeah, just to go somewhere else, but not here. Like they said in the Blues Brothers, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. So they left. That was it.
If I lived the past over, saw today from yesterday, I would be in love anyway. If I knew that you'd leave me, if I knew you wouldn't stay, I would be in love anyway. Sometimes I think about before. Sometimes I think, if I knew then what I know now, I don't believe I'd ever change somehow. Though you'll never be with me, and there are no words to say, I'll still be in love anyway. If I knew then what I know now, I don't believe I'd ever change somehow. If I knew then what I know now, I don't believe I'd ever change somehow.